coming after me. Y'all favorite came after me. My fans up and them bands up, bring my fam up. The mentality, these niggas be faking. The mentality, these niggas be hating. The mentality.
All right, y'all. So before we get started, this on the screen is going to be a League of Legends tutorial, and I'm going to walk you all through the comparison to Mobile Legends while we're watching this. But before we get into it, let me quickly explain why marksmen are more difficult to play than assassins, because a lot of people are saying assassins is difficult to play. The thing about a MOBA is that in a MOBA, it takes time and practice to learn the mechanics of a MOBA. You can't get past that. So yeah, it may take you a lot of time to learn the mechanics, but that's not even the hard part. Like when it came down to using Kagura and stuff like that, that seemed like rocket science to me when I first learned it. When it came down to using Fanny and really understanding Fanny, that seemed like rocket science. But then once you practice it enough, once you get into it, like you still might not be as good at using the mechanics as some of the best players in the world. Obviously, that's why they're the best players in the world. But mechanically, if you keep practicing, you will get to that point. But the mechanics is the easy part. Like that's the easy part. If it takes you 6 months to learn the mechanics, that's still the easy part. The hard part is learning to make the right decisions within your role and stuff like that. Like the things you have to think about, the decisions you have to make. When do I jungle? Who should be last hitting? Who should be killing? Like this is the stuff that takes a long time. That stuff can go into years. If mechanics takes you months, the logic behind the mechanics could take you years. And the logic is what your role should be doing, how the meta should actually move and flow. Like this type of stuff is the difficult stuff. This type of stuff is the complicated stuff. And that's why it's so easy for marksmen to be a hindrance to the team. That's why it's so easy to bring the team down with a marksman, because everyone thinks it's as simple as picking a marksman and just auto-attacking. Like that's literally the level of disrespect that I hear about marksmen. And if that was it, if that was the reason, that if that's all you had to do with a marksman, everybody wouldn't suck with him. People don't use marksman because so many bad people play marksman and it makes marksman look bad. Then every time I get in there, I play against mythics and I don't do bad, everyone's like, oh, they're just bad. You're just like, literally for 2 years, people have been telling me the mythics that I beat are bad. For 2 years, if I only come across bad mythics for 2 years, that's basically like you calling every mythic bad, because everybody I come across is always bad, right? So like that does not even make sense. The thing is, certain people are good enough to play marksman because we know how to play marksman. I do kite. I do things like this. But what you have to understand about marksman is one of the most important things is mini-map awareness, decision-making, positioning, kiting, all of these things. And certain heroes in Mobile Legends are just not capable of kiting. Certain marksmen are just not capable of kiting. So that's why a lot of people are getting smacked when they use certain heroes. Like someone told me earlier that Carrie was better at kiting than Layla. Like hitting someone and dashing out is not kiting. Hitting someone and dashing out is not kiting. The reason that a lot of Mobile Legends heroes cannot kite, a lot of Mobile Legends marksmen, is because of the fact that they have low range, first off. Then second off, a lot of the other heroes are faster than them, or they have stun abilities that really can easily hit them within their range, within their attack range. So basically, if a marksman is close enough to attack someone, that same person is probably close enough to stun them. Mobile Legends range needs work, and Mobile Legends movement speed with certain heroes need work as well. The reason Layla can do it so comfortably is because her range is just really insane. That's what makes her the best at doing it. But let's take a look at this. We're going to go into kiting and one of the higher level techniques of and it's so simple. It's so simple. But one of the higher level techniques of basically using a marksman. This allows you to reposition while still putting out damage. So this is what kiting is. And this is a tutorial from that I liked when I saw it, and it was done very well. It really explains it well, and it's actually well edited and stuff.
An AD carry series where I teach you all about how to become an AD carry. So if you want to become an AD carry, this is the guide for you. It has been a while because I'm currently graduating at my university, but I found some time to record this episode for you guys. Episode 6 is all about how to kite and when to kite. Let's get started. 1. What is kiting? First things first, kiting is moving in between your auto attacks to keep distance from your opponent. This can also be called stutter stepping or orb walking. Every champion has a delay in which they can auto attack. During this time, it's very efficient to keep on walking because you cannot auto attack anyways, and you keep distance from the enemy player. While this can be used to create distance between you and your opponent, it can also be used to stick onto someone while trying to deal damage. For example, if you're chasing someone and you want to deal damage to him and kill him, it might be better to fit in some auto attacks while you're chasing your opponent. That is way more efficient, and will have a higher chance of not letting him get away, because the more time you waste, the more chance he's gonna get away. 2. How to kite. There's a little spot during your auto attack animation that is not necessary to dealing damage. This part of the animation is called the rewind animation, and is the ending animation of the auto attack. This is where your character sets up.
Alright, now if you notice this right here, Mobile Legends has the exact same thing. If you use a marksman, try to shoot, and then see how long it takes to shoot again, there's a window within there where you can kite, basically. Like, so this is something that's not done a lot in Mobile Legends, but it is there. It is possible to do, and it is one of the biggest jobs of a marksman to be able to do. Now, certain heroes can kite on their own, like Layla, but certain heroes can also kite if they have the support of their team. Like, if you're behind a tank, if your team has crowd control and is slowing people down and stuff like that, and that's when the teamwork aspects come involved in using certain marksmen. Certain marksmen are like, all the marksmen are still very strong. Like I said, they're the most powerful heroes in the game. The thing is, it really takes a level of teamwork to where you can actually use techniques like this with certain heroes. And I think that that's why Mobile Legends is balanced great. I think that, like, people keep telling me that no, it's not balanced well at all. Like, I would definitely disagree with you. I think that it's the community that makes it seem like it's less balanced than it actually is. If you have the tanks and you have the slows on your side and stuff like that, and you really have a lot of crowd control and you have a good marksman and you're kiting and stuff around your team and you're getting in positions to kite like in weird, strange positions and weird little pockets throughout the battle area, your team can help you create these opportunities. And in most games, the team does help them create opportunities. Like in Mobile Legends, it's all about solo skill and solo killing and stuff like that, and assassins ganking. But that's really not what a MOBA is about whatsoever. That's the one single strategy. That's one single strategy that everyone is used to seeing, and they think that it's the only thing that works. It's not the only thing that works. And when you utilize different abilities and stuff with marksmen like this, you'll see that there's more opportunity. But let's watch a little bit more of this.
For the next upcoming auto attack animation, it has to reset back to its original auto attack animation state, so you can use that little bit of time to walk away from your opponent while still dealing damage. The basic kite is that you auto attack, and while the rewind animation is going, you proceed to walk away from your opponent. For example, let's say you're fighting a melee champion. You want to deal damage to him while not letting him get to you. This, you kite. You hit him, and while the animation is about to rewind, you start walking away from your opponent and start over again. So you continue to auto attack, walk away, auto attack, walk away. The time that you have to walk away is something you have to get used to. Sometimes you have more movement speed, so you can keep your distance by just taking one step. Sometimes you have to do 2 or 3 steps. That's up to like how much movement speed you have, how fast the melee character is, etc, etc. And that basically comes with practice. Fighting is one of the most important skills to practice as an AD carry, because this is one of the core mechanics of the role. Keeping distance from a bruiser that tries to chase you happens all the time, and being prepared for it is the key to success.
Alright, so never kite against certain assassins. I just want to throw this out here right now. You kite against Lancelot, you're probably getting dove. Let me just throw that out there right now. Now, fighters are more prevalent. It works better against heroes like fighters and stuff. And also, you can easily kite a tank. The thing about Mobile Legends is the assassins do have very high mobility, and then they have a lot of dashes, which makes it very difficult. So, another thing also, I didn't really talk about why assassins are pretty much easy to play. So once you get the mechanics down, an assassin's job is really to just kill the ADC. That's what an assassin does. In Mobile Legends, everyone uses assassins to kill everyone, but an assassin just simply closes distance using his abilities, bursts a carry down, and then AD carry down, and then basically disengage. That's all an assassin needs to do to fulfill their role. So basically, when it comes down to an assassin, everyone spends the entire game running away from an assassin because an assassin is so strong, an assassin is so scary. An AD carry, everyone spends the majority of the game trying to kill them because they're so squishy and everyone sees them as so easy. That's why ADC is one of the hardest roles to play, because you have to know that everyone is going to be after you, and there are skills and abilities that you can use to stay alive. Like, that's your job, to learn stuff like kiting, to learn stuff like this. Because if you don't know this stuff, yes, you're going to get smacked by every assassin. You're going to get smacked by pretty much everyone if you don't have flicker and stuff like that for certain heroes who need it. Like, all of this stuff is very, very important to staying alive when it comes to using a marksman character. And this is this type of information. This video is like what, two years old that I saw. It was like 2 years old. So it's like almost at the beginning of Mobile Legends. This is when this video was dropped. So a lot of people don't take the time to learn what was out there before, the information that was out there before. But even if people don't want to listen to me, even if people don't want to understand me because you just don't like me or something, that's perfectly fine. Listen to the people smarter than me. That's who I've learned stuff from. I've learned stuff from seeing people better than me in other games, because I do see, like, damn near anybody I cross in other games is better than me. But the basic stuff that I know is like 10 times stronger than the majority of the stuff that people know in Mobile Legends. That's all that I'm pointing out. This is basic. This stuff is definitely basic. But a lot of the Mobile Legends community just don't know this type of stuff. But let's watch a little bit more. I want to see where he's going. I didn't watch past this point, actually.
You might ask yourself, how do I practice kiting? Starting out with just a custom game alone can already help you getting started to kiting.
This works in Mobile Legends as well, by the way. I was just doing it. I was just making sure that you could go and practice. I was making sure you can go and practice. I use Layla. So use Layla and you'll see it'll be pretty easy to practice. And then practice with other heroes if you do use other marksmen, and you'll see.
And kite on minions, for example, or try neutral jungle buffs. Just hit a minion, cancel your ending animation, and walk somewhere. While the best practice comes from playing against your friends in normals or an actual ranked game, you can still practice this against bots as well. Set yourself up in a game full of melee bots and try maximizing damage while not letting them get into range. This will give you a sense of what certain champion animations look like and when to cancel the animation. If you start canceling auto attacks, you might be canceling it a little bit too early. But if the bots catch up to you, you might be holding onto your auto a little bit too long. Try and find the sweet spot there. 4 tips. In order to kite efficiently, it's sometimes hard to keep clicking on the right champion, while also making sure that you're walking in the right direction. Luckily for us, there is a command that helps us do that. It is called attack move or command attack.
Now that's something League of Legends specific, but the thing about Mobile Legends is we're a mobile game, so we have the analog stick. So honestly, kiting is a lot easier for us than it is for League of Legends players. So this is one of the reasons that I think Mobile Legends is amazing, because like we can do some of the most powerful techniques quite easily. We don't have to worry about clicking. We auto hit people. Like we literally, it hits the target for us. All we have to do is bag up. All we have to do is hit, bag up, and our next hit is going to automatically hit whoever we're trying to kite. So literally this whole thing is not skill based. It's not mechanic based. It's just automatic for us Mobile Legends players. So this is a very, very powerful technique and something that comes easy to us because of the platform we use to play. So yeah, let me just point that out.
This will let you attack as soon as a champion minion or an attack neutral monster is in range. This makes it so that if you misclick next to an enemy champion while kiting, you're still firing at him and you're not awkwardly walking towards him. This tip will not only help you kite, but also helps you to immediately attack someone that's hiding in a bush the moment you spot him. So how do you attack move? Well, you can use attack move by holding down shift and then right click somewhere. Or you can use command attack by using A.
Let's see if we can move past this.
The difference between attack moving and command attack. 3. Don't run away if you cannot survive while kiting. There are some situations where you just cannot survive, so do not panic and keep being efficient with your autos and keep kiting. Try kiting towards your team, for example, so you can do most damage and make your team kill the opponent faster as well. 4. You do not
see, now that's very, very important. I want you to listen to that again. Listen to that again. Because in Mobile Legends, when you die, everyone blames you. Everyone calls it bad. Everyone calls you terrible and stuff like that. Listen one more time.
3. Don't run away if you cannot survive while kiting. There are some situations where you just cannot survive, so do not panic and keep being efficient with your autos and keep kiting. Try kiting towards your team, for example, so you can do most damage and make your team kill the opponent faster as well. 4.
So that's very important because sometimes you are going to die. Sometimes you're going to be kiting or you're going to be trying to attack someone and they're just going to have like an assassin is going to break through and grab you and kill you. But as long as you keep attacking and dealing as much damage as possible, you're doing your job. Your job is to deal damage, and your team's job, yes, it is to protect you, but sometimes things just happen. Sometimes like an assassin's job is supposed to be to get past your team. Like, so a good assassin will find a way to get past your team and try to grab you. Like, that's just something that's going to happen. What you have to understand is this is each other's role. People say that marksmen are so impossible to play because they're going to get focused by assassins and stuff. Like, that's always been the job of a marksman. A marksman is literally supposed to be trying to dodge assassins and stuff all game. It's all positioning and stuff like that. So it's very important that you don't be too scared of dying and stuff like that, and you do add some benefit for your team. So just dealing out a little bit of damage. Now, in certain situations, early game, Mobile Legends marksmen just don't have damage to offer. So it's pointless trying to dish out some damage when you're literally just going to be tickling people. You're going to be out there throwing marshmallows at people. That's not enough damage. That's not enough damage whatsoever. That's why early game, you have to push the game till a little bit later, till even until the 8-minute mark. If you can hit around the 8-minute mark, it might be worth it to have the marksman doing a little bit of damage. Let the marksman get an item or two first, then you're ready to deal a little bit of something, even if you can't deal all the damage. But don't always kite. Let's look at this part.
You do not always have to attack move or kite. After you reach endgame with certain champions, it is not always efficient to cancel your animation. For example, if you're playing Kakma and you're using your W, you might not be able to efficiently use auto attacks in between your walk, and this will minimize your damage potential and might even lose your fight. So it's important to think whether or not you actually have to kite and whether it is beneficial or actually will hurt your damage. Let's watch some efficient attack moving.
Focus on that guy. That's the guy who was kiting well right here. Even though he was taking a lot of damage, he was still kiting well. This guy.
Just kidding. This guy is a scripter, but as you can see, I don't think a human being is capable of kiting that efficient. So sometimes it's better to just stand still and not kite if that will maximize your damage and not get you killed. Alright, this was episode 6 of the Guide to Becoming an AD Carry series. I hope.
Alright, Joe. So that was pretty much it on kiting, man. Obviously that was like some crazy kiting. Like, crazy kiting was being done there, and that's not something that everyone is going to be able to do. And also, the thing that differs from League of Legends and Mobile Legends is the fact that, like I said, a lot of us, we have auto attack. All of us, we have auto attacking. So in League of Legends, when someone is using skills and stuff like that and trying to come after you, they literally have to click on you and stuff like that. In Mobile Legends, it's just automatic. So 9 times out of 10, you're going to take more damage than people would in League of Legends, because League of Legends is click-based. So it actually depends on, even more so, on the skill of the person that you're going against. So in Mobile Legends, everything is going to be a lot easier. It's going to be a lot easier to kite, and it's going to be a lot easier for people to try to stop you from kiting. That really just comes down to practice, getting really, really good with positioning, and making sure you, that's why you really have to worry about you being out of the position of certain heroes in Mobile Legends. You have to know who you can kite against, who you can like position better than, and basically who you can't. And when you can't position better than certain heroes, you don't walk up on those heroes. You don't walk up too close. Like, a lot of people sometimes in certain situations where I just don't help my team, a lot of people say, yo, why didn't you help your team? Because I know if I step past this point, that person right there has not used their ultimate and they will dive me. Like if that's a Saber right there, Saber can easily use his second ability, clear this type of distance right here, then he can use his ultimate and grab me. And that's not a risk that I'm taking right now, because it's not efficient if I die. So it's coming down to making decisions like that, knowing when to make decisions like that, and also knowing, like, if let's say Saber already used his ultimate, you have to know that as well. So paying attention to details and stuff like that. That's very, very important when it comes to being a marksman, especially a marksman in Mobile Legends, because it is pretty different from League of Legends. So you have to know those differences. But in order for you to know those differences and what's the same, you have to learn from the League of Legends community. And that's very, very important to do as well, because while there's a lot that you cannot learn from League of Legends, there is also a lot that's been around for over a decade, over 10 years, that you can learn from League of Legends. Any problem that's happening in Mobile Legends right now, League of Legends has probably already found a solution for it. They found a solution for that 10 years ago. So that's pretty much it, y'all. Let me know what you all think in the comment section down below, man. Make sure you drop that thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, fam. Peace out, y'all.